Yo, what's cracking, everybody? We are at. This is my Saturday morning. It is 8 a.m. It's been a week full of boxing, a week full of cards. Hopefully, you're like our insiders, our JSB Boxing Insider Group, and you're sprinting towards that card in the UK and you're not crawling. My metaphor refers to us hitting in the Philippines, also hitting yesterday in Canada. Our long parlay came through. We up. And I posted that, gave you guys that away. It paid $2.02. So you essentially, whatever you put in, you equaled your pay. And we went 7 out of 7. We'll get to that in a second. Guys, if you haven't joined our Johnny Says Boxing Insider VIP group, that link is pinned right there on your screen in the messaging below. Click that to find out more. It's a couple bucks a month. You get more access here on the live streams. You get access to our Discord. And you never miss a bet, never miss a fight. The live streaming, the up to date. Yesterday during the Canada card, look, I'm not downloading a VPN. I'm an old head, so I don't know how to do all them little VPNs. And I appreciate the boys in the Discord trying to put the VPN in the link, but I tried down here in Australia, even before Top Rank didn't have a platform. It was really hard for us to get top rank fights. It's weird. ESPN Plus isn't a thing down here. Even if you pay for it during the top rank cards, it'll say these fights do not appear in your region. So I was out with my girl anyway, and the Discord chat was keeping me up to date on round by round that fight card. And so earlier in the week on Monday, when I gave you guys my long parlay, I told you guys I tried to find an upset on this card. I just couldn't find an upset. It was one of those weeks where all 7 picks were favorites, and all seven, 2 in the Philippines, 5 in Canada, all came in. So we hit there. Shout out to all the boys who hit, all the boys who tailed. One of my guys on Instagram, he wants 7,800. We'll go over those ups shortly. But like always, guys, I don't like talking about our wins too long, and I don't like talking about our losses too long. What do? Turn the page. We turn the page. We do it like we're reading a book or we're writing in our journal because we got fights tomorrow in less than 24 hours. And that's what I'm going to get into. We're going to talk a little bit about the UK card. I got to be honest with you, full transparency. I'm not 100% excited about the card. It's a decent card. There's also the Pero versus the heavyweight card. Some people are saying it's an MVP card. The fights tomorrow, I'm not too excited about regarding the matchups. There's money to be made. There's a few 50-50 fights. I'm taking an underdog in one of those fights. We'll get into that. But it's not like it's the matchmaking isn't necessarily one fighter versus another fighter, both in their prime. We're about to see a well-oiled machine, and there's a lot of these sort of matchups, whether they're prospects coming up, we'll see how they, what they're really capable of, or they're guys who've either fought at the world level, fought for a world title, fell short, and then they're kind of like litmus tests matchups to see where they are in their career. So of the matchups, I'm not too confident in a lot of them. I got to be honest. I made my money for the week. I cashed out my money for the week, and then I left a little bit in my account to see if we could sprinkle on tomorrow. Just so you guys know, it's not like I'm betting the house on any of these fights tomorrow. Okay. That being said, I want to talk a little bit about what we did yesterday. This was what we did all week, and this started in the Philippines. This was the 7 leg. I'll show you in the Discord. I wrote a message when I posted this in the Discord. I was like, look, guys, this looks like an OG Johnny Says Long parlay from like a year ago or 6 months ago when they were all favorites. They generally don't look like this anymore because, we've had a lot of 50-50 fights. But I wrote and I spoke to you guys. I go, I don't see any upsets. We didn't see any upsets. The 2 fights that had us shaken actually were the 2 in the Philippines. The Marcial fight had some controversy. The Melvin Jerusalem fight had some controversy. But everything in the UK panned out exactly how it was supposed to. Guerrero, money line, didn't get much on it. Mehmet Unal, first round knockout. We saw that coming. Wilkins Matthew looked good, and then he was in there against a really grizzled vet, Shaquille Finn. Where are the boys at who told me Matthew was going to lose? Where are the boys at who told me Unal was going to lose? it went our way. Beersanov looked good, and then Michaela Mayer, in my opinion, won every single round. So that was our long parlay. We hit it, paid 210, 100 got you your money back plus 110. One of my boys on Instagram, um, he bet 3,500 on it, and he got another 3,700 back. So we'll show you that one real quick. And I know, I don't mind the haters. I have no problem with people coming in, sending me messages, talking shit about the betting, which is fine. It's when they talk shit and they don't understand odds. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't understand the fight game. They don't understand betting. Okay, I'm gonna just pause this. The reason why I refer to that is you could tell a boxing casual fan by how the words they use about a fighter or a fight. You could tell a casual better by how they react to somebody posting, their long parlay. And I posted on the Instagram our 7 leg, and people were hating like, "Oh, you picked all favorites. You picked all favorites. Anybody could have picked all favorites." Yeah, bro. I get it. $10 to make $12 isn't going to do anything. But, the guys I know who bet the most money, when you're betting 3,500 to win 3,500 on the bets, that's what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to shout out to my guy. I'm keeping him anonymous, but he's one of the guys on my Instagram. He's in our Discord. He always sends me his tickets personally. And he tailed the bets. That's a great comeback. You get a 1-on-1 comeback is all you could ask for. You know what I'm saying? 1-on-1. Let's go. We got some weigh-ins to talk about. The weigh-ins with Buatsi and Parker. We got Lyndon Arthur versus Bradley Ray. It'll be interesting to see how you guys see that one going. I'm going to start saying my what's up right now. Money Meach in the house. Money Meach, man, if you who you like going into tomorrow, I want to know. Same thing with DJ Green. DJ Green, what's good, playboy? Who do you like going into tomorrow? I want to know your picks. Let me know in the comment section below. Guys, of the fights, what you guys could do for me right now, and I guess I'll just type them here. I want you to know, let me know who's going to win. I'm just going to put 4 fights here, and I'm only going to put the first name. So, Denise fight. Who wins these? Who wins? Denise fight. I want to know about the Cameron fight. Cameron fight. I think I'm going to give you guys 4 fights here. Ray fight. And then we could talk about this for a little bit. And then the 4th one, Buatsi fight. And then there's some heavyweights. There's I think he's Cuban. Pero fights on a different card. Buatsi fight. I want to talk about England real quick. Okay. I'll send that for the boys. Let's pin this comment. Okay, I see all the boys tapping in. So, guys, how do you guys see these going? Because these are points of contention here. I do want to apologize to one of our level 2s. I got to give him a special shout out. Sometimes I can't. What I'm doing is working behind the scenes, guys, on creating a more efficient system for me to stay organized. A lot of this stuff regarding the videos, the level 2s, the Discord, we're just learning on the run. We're just learning on the go. None of this was planned, which kind of goes against my sort of methodology with how I run my coaching business, how I write my books, how I run my fitness business. I'm very organized. So I want to give a special shout out to Johnny Says Level 2, Vin379. Vin379 requested me to break down Buatsi Parker over 2.5 weeks ago. And then, I figured, I was like, all right, I'll remember. And then I got a message an hour ago. I think you forgot about my pick. So I just want to say my bad, Vin379. I'll do better. I'm creating a better system to where when the level 2s request fights, I have a catalog to keep these in line. So I will tell you who I like in that fight. Right now, who do you guys like? Denise, Cameron, Ray, Buatsi, and anybody who wants to come on and chat about it, you're more than welcome to. If you're an insider, I gave you the link, which is in the Discord. Anybody wants to come to chat about these, you're more than welcome. It is, I have a Halloween. It's Halloween. It's November 1st today. Halloween for you Americans. It's 8 a.m. I'm going to stay on for about another 50 minutes. So if anybody wants to chat, break these down with me, or just give me your 2 cents, you're more than welcome. The only thing I suggest, you have to be an insider because I put that link in the Discord. Who wins? Khalid Majid is a parlay booster. He's taking a step down fight. Mankey, what book is that on? Let me pull up and see if BoxRec has that. So Mankey said this fight is a Amari Jones. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Yeah, these are the fights right now. Bet365 is offering Majid. So if you could see that, we got Bradley, Casey. Look at these odds on this. This is insane. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 fights in a row where the challenger is a 14 to 1 dog. This matchmaking's insane. So I'm trying to find on this Mankey saying I don't see Majid. There he is. All right, I found it, bro. So this fight, a parlay booster. All right, so shout out to Mankey Crazy. This is a fight that I didn't even know about. Khalid Majid, $1.62. David Ryan, 9 to 1 dog. So Mankey Crazy says this is a parlay booster, meaning whatever you guys like, add this one on the money line I suggest. I'm going to go back to my initial question because I'm going to bring up some of you. Denise, Cameron, Ray, Buatsi. So Boxing Booth, shout out one of our newest members in the Discord. He's been on the channel, following the channel. Cameron, Buatsi, Arthur, Liam. I like it. Yeah, this is, guys, and this is where I'm at too. So, you know, we've had all week to talk about it. We really didn't give it much time because we had the Filipino card and we had the card in Canada. But it doesn't mean we weren't talking about it. I was talking about the Liam Cameron fight. We were talking about Buatsi Parker, Lyndon Arthur versus Bradley Ray. When I opened this live stream and I told you guys I'm not 100% excited is the wrong word. Boxing, I'm not 100% confident is because we're not necessarily getting matchups with well-polished, world-class guys in their prime. We're not getting the best version of each guy. You know what I'm saying? So if you hit already, if you guys hit already in the Philippines, if you hit yesterday in Canada, cash out and then sprinkle something on these fights. That's all I'm going to say. I've already cashed out. I made good money this week. And then I left a little bit in to sprinkle on. And I have Cameron as well. I like Buatsi as well. I like Lyndon Arthur as well. Lyndon Arthur is my dog of the week. I got him on Monday at $2.70. He's down. I think, let's see where he's at now. I checked last night before I went to bed. Lyndon Arthur was $2.55. But I'm not putting thousands on this, guys. Just keep that in mind. Wow. This is crazy. Okay, so look. So like I said, on Monday, I got Lyndon at 270. He's at 230. He's still a dog, so the dogs are still be barking. I've watched people break down this fight. I watched Gary's live with Chilltown. It was a good live. If you guys aren't following Gary at 3D Boxing, follow him at 3D Boxing. Help him get to 3,000 subs. But they were kind of torn on this. Gary was siding with Lyndon, and Chilltown was siding with Bradley Ray. He was Chilltown's agreement. Chilltown's breakdown was siding on the fact that he thought Shaquan Pitters is better than people think, and he says that Lyndon Arthur was never at world level, and that's where that's where I would disagree with him. Whenever you share the ring with Dimitri Bivol, you're at the world level. You know what I mean? Where I agree with him is that the one thing about Lyndon Arthur, hot and cold, which side are we going to get with him? He said that, like, just watch the Anthony Yard last fight. It was a tale of two fights. I liked Lyndon Arthur's energy in that fight. He just faded. And I'll play the weigh-ins in a second, and we could talk more about this fight. But Lyndon Arthur is my dog of the week. Bum Equipment, I took the week off from taping. I'm going with Johnny Speaks. Bum Equipment, Um, did you take the picks in the Philippines? Did you hit on the 7 leg? Hopefully you did. Yeah, Khaled Bet365. Good call on that. So Mankey says all of those are late. Yeah. Are you betting on those? Are you putting those on your are you putting those on a parlay? The big favorites? Or are you staying away? Cameron was on the prelims before Daniel Lappin got hurt. Shout out Daniel Lappin. Skill set and experience at higher levels is why I think those lads come through. Draws are worth the dabble. Ray Arth, not a bad shout. I can't disagree with that. I think here's a great question. Will we see a draw tomorrow? What are the chances? This would be if I was running a betting app, this would be an option to bet. You would take the entire card and then you would say, for the Buatsi Parker card, will we see a draw? Yes or no? Because maybe we can make this a bet in our Discord. You know what I mean? Maybe we could somehow because behind the scenes, myself, Gil, boxing fan, we're trying to think of how to create a competition in for only the Discord boys. This one just came to me right now off of Boxing Booth's perspective, the draw. Maybe we do a draw competition. Who could because we haven't seen one in a few weeks, especially on fights that we featured. But from about March to about September, March, April, May, June, July, for about 6 months, guys, we were seeing the draws getting sprinkled in. So, and you pick a draw. Look, I mean, 15, 14 to 1 right here. There's money coming in on that draw. Usually you see it about 16 to 17 to 1. Adu tapping in, draws possible just as much as. Oh, I know. This is what we have to worry about. Guys, I don't want to harp on this point too much. But how often are we going to see stoppages? Yeah, I don't want to harp too much about the UK because it kind of, you know why? Because it takes the power it takes the power out of our hands. If we start harping about early stoppages, late stoppages, if we start harping about the judges, the fix being on, it literally, the more you go down that thought process, the more power we remove from ourselves in terms of how much we think we know and how much fun we're having. But you're right. The draw is possible on the UK card. I'm going to play some weigh-ins. I want to know what you guys think. We're going to look at Bradley Ray and Lyndon Arthur, and we're going to look at Troy Parker and Joshua Buatsi. I want to know what you guys think. Because I know some of you guys are like me. You guys seek out, or you guys watch this sort of thing. Okay. We'll take this to their page. You guys seeing anything? So Lyndon Arthur on the right, Bradley Ray on the left. The kid on the left's the favorite. We last saw Bradley Ray against Pitters. We last saw Lyndon against Anthony Yard. We won money on Ray last fight in a close call against Pitters, and we lost money. I lost money. No, I picked Anthony Yard in that fight, actually. So I picked Yard to beat Lyndon Arthur. So I won money on both guys last fight, funny enough. The fight I lost on the Lyndon Arthur, Anthony Yard trilogy was Brandon Glanton versus CBS. Brandon Glanton, I felt like I want to see Chris Billum Smith again, to be honest with you. Chris Billum Smith fought really well against Glanton. How do you guys see this one going? What up, Mike? Mike, I saw you posted on your Insta. I'll share that real quick. You posted you got the tickets. So Mike's fighting soon. Mike's fighting first week of December, trying to extend his undefeated record to 11-0. Follow him on Insta. He got tickets for the fight. Support the young fella. I don't think Lyndon is world class. Yeah, we have to understand. I guess we first have to clarify what world class means. I guess in my head it was always like, even if it's a last minute late replacement, if you get the call up and you're fighting for a world title, That's world level. I guess world class and world level might be two different things. I just think he was fortunate enough on a card against Bivol because Buatsi bitched out and Linden got the opportunity. Bivol should have stopped him. Yeah, and we know Bivol. Lyndon Arthur's tough. I like Lyndon Arthur's body work. I like his punching. If you guys watch Fight Week all week, he looks switched on, guys. He looks motivated. You never feel comfortable though. This is from a betting perspective, guys. You never feel comfortable putting your money on a guy when you have to say which version are we going to get of said fighter, or if we get a motivated said fighter, we're going to be good. You never, even though I'm betting on Arthur, you never feel comfortable. You never feel comfortable when that narrative is part of a fighter's sort of legacy, and unfortunately, it is with Lyndon. He looks switched on though, mate. Like he looks focused. They have a history. These boys know each other. Like I'm gonna say, I'm gonna. I hope we get a motivated Lyndon Arthur. Alex, is Alex on? Does Alex ever do? What's Alex's name on the live streams? Mike and Alex were going head to head yesterday in the Discord. The Discord. See, the reason why the Discord's good is because even though you could go head to head with someone, we could still always meet in the middle at boxing, and you just don't take it personal. I've not seen I've not seen eye to eye. There's no way you're going to see eye to eye with everyone. It's just you keep it copacetic. Sometimes people get out of control, but we always come back to the middle. Mervin Albano, Johnny, what's up, bro? Can you post your parlay for these fighters? Yeah. So I like I get Mervin all week. I told you the guy on the right, Lyndon Arthur, on a separate ticket. He's my underdog of the week. I got him at 270. So, in denominations, whatever I'm learning about. This shows you how like I'm learning the terminology of the gambling game. I always just bet denominations of 100, but I'm learning like whatever your unit is, you put a unit on Lyndon Arthur. If you would have put him, if 100 on Arthur for me on Monday gets me my money back plus 170, the money is coming in on the dog. I think we just saw he's at 230 now. So 100 still gets you your return money plus 130. I like Ray, but only 70-30. Yeah, and that's how I feel. See, with Lyndon, I'm like 50-50. The only GK, I think Ray stops him. Wow, you think Ray stops him? So Ray couldn't stop Pitters. Before the Pitters fight, Ray fought a guy who was 0-18, and Bivol couldn't stop Lyndon. And in the last fight, Anthony Yard couldn't stop Lyndon. Anthony Yard's fighting Benavidez. So I'm just pushing back. Some can be said for Buatsi Parker. Which version of Parker will show up? Yeah, let's pull that up. Good call. We're going to pull up the weigh-ins now on Buatsi Parker. I had it waiting for you, Adu. Playboy. Okay, so this is interesting, and I posted this in the Discord. Two things about this fight. There was a lot being said and spoken about how people were thinking that Troy Parker, and this was a joke 3 days ago. I was telling you guys on the live stream. I said, how many of you guys in here think that Troy Parker is a black dude? I think I was like, you guys, did you know Troy Parker's a white dude? And I wasn't saying that because of the matchup. It was just the longer you're on my channel, I use comedy. But Troy Parker, dude on the right, Buatsi, the dude on the left. There was people during the week saying that Troy Parker was going to be just as big as Buatsi, even though Parker was the one moving up a weight class. That was the one thing I wanted to talk about. As you can tell, Buatsi's, edging him a little bit, maybe an inch. He's the bigger guy here. Also, your sports books, guys, the betting apps have this as a 12 rounder. This is a 10 rounder. So if you guys in your betting apps took over unders or round betting, I think they're going to avoid those bets. Even though BoxRec and your betting app says that this is a 12, this is a 10 rounder. And I'm just getting that information from Chilltown. TJ said that this was a 10 rounder, and the betting apps, if you have like over and unders, they're going to avoid that bet. So just keep that in mind. Lyndon, well, Lyndon looking skinny. I haven't seen Lyndon look like that in a long time. Let's see here. Let's see what Mankey said. Anyone think Zach Parker? Let's zoom in. What do we look at? Anyone think Zach Parker's face? Oh, Zach Parker. What was I thinking of? Where do you see bruises? Where do you like? Are you talking the cheekbones? Yeah, Zach Parker. I said Troy Parker. I'm tripping. Troy Jones against Cameron. That's what I was. Rambler, good call. What do you guys think of this one? Who's winning this fight? Who do you guys like here? Where's your money at? We're gonna take a look at Bivol isn't much of a finisher. True. I don't like. I agree. This fight will be a war. Race pressure. Would pick Parker by looks. I don't know nothing about either guy. Parker maybe distance. Okay, this one. Add over 8.5. Okay, so the reason why the over is here. Buatsi money line. I like that. I like that bet. What's that paying you? Over 8.5. Buatsi money line. Let's have a look. There's somebody sprinkled in a UFC question. I'll get to that in a second. Because there's two UFC fights I really like, by the way. Okay, so Adu says over 8.5 Buatsi money line. Let's see. I just want to see what this is paying. I don't mind. I don't mind this bet at all, actually. Oh yeah, it's gonna force me to sign in. So the money line's $1.16, and then over $1.83. Mate, you're at plus money. That's not bad. You're at plus money. I like that. So not Parker to go that maybe distance. Yeah, guys, I haven't like my bread and butter is just the money line joints. The over and unders traditionally kill me. I'm not a confident over and under guy. I'm not a confident, uh, knockdown prop guy. I got talked into months ago by Carlos to do knockdown props. The only knockdown props I've hit was the Luis Nery or the Ramon Cardenas knockdown prop against Inoue. And then the last time I really went heavy was the knockdown prop with Joshua Kelly against Fabio Bea, the stoppage, and then the Brian Norman Jr., Jin Sasaki. Buatsi looks like he's been living in a cave for camp. He's getting it. Let's go. Let's go. What do you guys think about this fight? Mankey Crazy's asking about Perro versus Jordan Thompson. Now, the boys in the Discord will be aware of this controversy. Is this controversy? Give me a second. I'm going to pull it up. Have you guys seen this before? The fighter has been found by Tapology. I've never seen Tapology put fighters on blast like this. I've never seen this prompt before. Has anyone ever seen this message by another fighter? And I've done more digging, and I'll get to that in a second. The fighter has been found by Tapology to have engaged in activity which does not conform to combat sports standards, has knowingly competed and or listed themselves under false names or aliases in order to hide their actual record or identity, or for another improper purpose. Now, this message this message is referring to, I found an old article written by Radio Raheem. Radio Raheem, I've known him for a few years on Facebook. We're friends on Facebook. I don't know if he's still writing for his website Seconds Out, but he wrote an article, I think in 2020, about this, about Jordan. I'm going to try to bring it up. Seconds Out, Jordan Thompson. Okay, here we go. So this was written. So I've done my research on this, just so you guys know. Like I said, when I get fixated on an idea, when I get fixated on controversy, when I get fixated on criminal activity, as you know, over the last 24 hours, I sometimes get impulsive with digging. You know, I am an author, I am a writer. Part of being a writer is being a journalist. Anyway, I found this. Seconds Out. This is Radio Raheem, right? This was his blog. But look, this was written 5 years ago. The article for Jordan Thompson, 5 things you should know about the troublesome Frank Warren fighter. That's his nickname, Troublesome. Okay, so Radio Raheem didn't write it. Danny Flexen wrote it, January 2nd, 2020. The 26-year-old comes from a high-achieving family. His father, the former karate champion, is also the founder and executive chairman of Manchester-based award-winning youth charter for sport. While younger brother Luke works in Wall Street, Jordan was ranked in the top 10 of British. He was ranked in the top 10 of British tennis at age 16. I don't know if this. This is just facts about Jordan Thompson. He hid his new vocation from his parents for nearly 2 years. So I don't know. That comment, what I was finding was the Tapology thing was maybe Jordan Thompson was taking fights and he didn't want people to know he was fighting. That's what it sounded to me. Jordan now trains under Don Charles, personal training. So this is, not directly connected with this, but when I was trying to research what the hell this was, that's all I could come up with. Anybody see any of that? It sounds to me, yeah, okay. That's right. It sounds to me he just didn't want his family members to know he was a fighter. So that's pretty savage. Like that's not a negative thing. The way this is written, this makes it sound like, this doesn't sound too right. This makes you question things. I agree with Pedro. I just wanted to highlight that because I was on a couple boxing forums earlier this morning commenting and people didn't understand what I was talking about. So cool. We're seeing eye to eye. It doesn't have to be a rigged fight. Yeah. Okay. We're going to move on now. Boxing fan, if you're placing bets, why is it round robin? And bet 365. Good luck on your bets. JSB, boxing fan, have fun Halloween, big fella. My man's dressed up, going to a Halloween party. Let's move on. All right, cool. Now I just wanted to cover the Jordan Thompson thing. Does anybody see? Is there an upset alert, boys? Is there an upset alert? Because we know the promotional company, the the marketing is all about Pero and the Pero brothers. Here are the odds. Who's biting? Good odds. Pero's $1.25. And Thompson's only a 3-1. Oh, anybody seen upset alert here? Let's pull it up. Yelvis Gomez by knockout. Damn, there's a lot we got to get into, guys. I'm gonna stay. We got time. Let's. We got time. I'm gonna get to Yelvis Gomez. I want to pull up some box rec real quick. Let's. This is. And I just also want to see if the odds are different on Sportsbet. Now, if you guys are Aussies, I'm putting all my boxing bets via Bet365. I just want to pull up Sportsbet to see if we're getting other options. Okay, so Sportsbet has the. Yeah, Sportsbet also has all of these 15-1 favorite, 14-1. Khalil Majid. So this is the fight Mankey was talking about, but he's only $1.06 here. $100 on Khalil gets you your money back plus $6. I don't know, man. The odds are a little bit. Nishant Dev is fighting. Nishant Dev, if you guys don't know, is being promoted as Indian, possibly the first world champion to come out of India. He's still young. All right, here we go. I'm going to pull up the box rec next, and then I'm going to pull up the weigh-ins. Are people overlooking Jordan Thompson? Thompson is tall. My issue with Lenier Pero is his speed. His speed, like he doesn't have speed. If you tape somebody was like they haven't taped these guys. If you've taped Lenier Pero, you're gonna see like a skilled big Cuban guy. He doesn't. His punch speed is something about his speed I don't like. $1.25. I look. Is this almost worth taking the dog? I want to see who they. Give me 1 second. We're just brainstorming right now. Because if you're paying attention, if you guys are paying attention to the marketing around the Pero brothers, people are investing a lot in these guys. Yeah, the Cuban heavyweight. He's 32. I mean, southpaw, 6'5". He doesn't have great like. Did you guys watch any of these fights? Like, I saw an article. I think Matchroom did. Who was it? They're talking about the Pero brothers being the next Klitschko's. I'm like, what am I missing here? Sometimes we get gaslit by boxing promoters. I'm like, shouldn't I know? Like, shouldn't I be aware that these guys are the next Klitschko's? And I'm like, what are they talking about? Okay. Yeah. What do you got? What's your take on this? It's a weird one for me. Put Thompson and Ezra one dog parlay. It'll pay nice off if it hits. Ezra is a solid dog. Yeah, we're talking about give me 1 second here. Let's check out the weigh-ins with Lanier. So that's Thompson on the right. Perro on the left. Wow. I mean, Perro's listed at 6'4.5". Thompson's looking every bit of 6'6" here. Isn't Thompson the guy who fought Jai Apataya? I think we last saw Thompson versus Jai. That would have been like 2 years ago. What's up, G? In the house. I know you're busy with Halloween, so I would ask you to jump on. If you want to jump on, you could jump on. I sent you the link. I know what you're getting ready for Halloween though. But we last saw Thompson versus Appetite. It's been a few years. They're putting a lot of energy and money into Perro. Anyone dog hunting here? Rambler, it's a no for me. It upsets, but I've studied it. Thompson looks tall, but he'll get Bambi legs. Yeah, I'm not taking. I don't even think I have action on this fight. I'm just asking the chat. He gets knocked. All right, here we go. Pedro, yes, he got knocked down 4 or 5. Get Gary up in there. I sent Gary the link. Talk about Yovis Gomez. All right. Pedro, it's one of my favorite movies, mate. You ever watch The Hangover? Pedro says one of my favorite movies. All right, we're gonna end. We're gonna talk about Yovis Gomez. We're gonna bring the odds up real quick. Like I said, for you Aussies out there, you're about to see sports bet, but I put all my bets in with Bet365. Why? Because sports bet, the draw starches you. All right, we got Boxing Fan in the house. This is Boxing Fan. What's up, Playboy?
What's up?
Happy Halloween, Iron Man.
Likewise, brother. Likewise, brother. Hey, if anyone's placing good bets tonight, I do recommend the Trixie on Bet365. One of the guys in the boxing chat hit me up and was kind of questioning what if a Trixie was a round robin. And a Trixie is a round robin with 3 legs that has the 4th, which is a straight payout if you hit all 3. So I do recommend it if anyone has any plus dogs. Minus dogs, it's really not going to make you any money, but the plus dogs guaranteed, brother.
All right, so we talked about that last week. So the Trixie on Bet365, if you're going dogs, is round robin.
100%. So if you were doing over and under, there's a plus there. Throw that in one leg. If you have another one, again, but you want to make sure that they're pluses. Again, if you're doing underdogs, as long as there's a plus there, it starts to multiply.
Okay.
Minuses, not going to work for anybody.
Okay, so this was N. N wanted to talk a little bit about. So when are you going to your party, by the way? Don't you have a party coming up?
No. I'm just handing candy out to the kids tonight.
Ah, dope, brother. Hey, we're going to. It's 8:45 in the morning here. I'm going to a Halloween party later with my girl too. I'll post photos and stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you gathered up.
Yeah, well, she picked it this time, but yeah, she got me looking crazy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, my girl, she's Pepper Potts. That's Iron Man's right-hand girl. So
nice.
Yes, sir.
Nice,
yes,
man.
sir.
And I appreciate that.
Guys in the Discord, listen, be nice to each other, man. We got a positive community. Let's have a lot of respect for each other. Otherwise, I'll come over there, fly to your neighborhood, and whip that ass.
Hi, brother.
You got positive vibes, brother. Johnny, really nice to see you.
Be good. You, as always, big dog. Have fun tonight, all right?
Likewise.
See ya.
Enjoy, chat.
Yep. All right, guys. So that was Boxing Fan. Always a positive reminder. We're talking about Yovis Gomez. I'm going to give Gary 2 minutes. Gary said he's coming on. Because I know Gary has, I think he has something to say about the Elvis Gomez fight. These are the current odds and Travius Ingram. If you guys follow Paulie Malignaggi and Tommy Rainone, they spoke a little bit about this fight too. I know a lot of the boys are asking about this fight. Anybody tape these guys? Boxing fan to God. Pedro's dressing up as Alan. Boxing fan is everyone's dad. That's a great way of putting it. We need some fatherly leadership in that Discord. You boys were acting crazy yesterday. I had to check myself too, so it's good. It's good to be checked, right? Um, but I'm gonna leave this here real quick. I'm gonna leave Gary from 3D. He's coming on in 2 minutes. I'm gonna move back over to Instagram. I'm gonna see. Did we get Yovis Gomez? Did we get weigh-ins for Yovis Gomez? Let's see. Man, the zone is. I'm not too high on the zone. All right, here's Gary, boys, at the stage. What's up, G? What, Gary? You're on. So way better technique than the other. What's up, G? You're on.
I had to refresh my coffee real quick.
Oh, get it refreshed, big dog. How you feeling?
Good, good, good.
Okay. So the boys requested you. Ask chat and thou shall receive. Here's Gary from 3D Boxing. Guys, if you're not following Gary, do it now. 3D Boxing. You see, Gary, you read it? Do you see who says, yo, J and G trying to hop on the live? You know that's PJ, by the way.
How did you get back to their regular names? I still have the at names.
I saw that on your chat. I don't know why yours did that.
Every channel I've been on has done that. Besides yours, maybe it's a US thing. I don't know.
Oh, interesting. So this, well, PJ, he thinks he's slick. Okay, so Gary, did you tape the Gomez fight?
I did all the tape on Gomez, and I'm halfway through the tape on Ingram. Gomez is
Okay.
gonna walk. Gomez is gonna walk through. Ingram's nothing special.
Okay. Yeah, I was talking. This is one of these fights where a lot of the boys, as we get closer and closer, the I don't want to call it obscure because people talk about this. I didn't tape this fight.
There's not much. Ingram is he's long. He's tall. He's behind a high guard. He doesn't have the power to keep Elvis off of him. He's not a master boxer with good speed like Marquise Taylor. That's going to frustrate him and outclass him. He's not going to be able to. Ingram's not going to be able to keep Gomez off him. Other than he has
Okay.
excellent hair, there's not much to Ingram.
Okay, now does this go the distance? Are we talking decision? Are we talking over?
I think there's a chance. Ingram really hasn't been in there tough yet. I don't know what to expect from his chin. I don't know how durable he is. I'm not the biggest Elvis Gomez fan, but there's a clear class in between them. If I had to bet, I would say Gomez stops him, but depending on the odds, I think it's just good enough. Take him on the money line because the money line is not that bad. It's like on DraftKings it was minus 240.
Yeah. Okay. That's probably why a lot of the boys are asking. I just got done watching your live stream with TJ, and you guys,
Yeah.
very interesting points. I like how, your take on the Bradley Ray versus Lyndon Arthur fight versus his take. And I already talked about that. Was there anything, because, the Philippines happened already, Canada happened. My channel are, a lot of us hit already. Is there a fight that maybe you guys didn't get to cover too much, or maybe that people are overlooking that you see that there's money value going into tomorrow?
Well, I think the money value is on the overs in the British fights. Now that's a tough bet because we don't know if Howard Forster is going to referee any of these fights, right?
What was the fight you said in the British
all,
fights?
all the British fights. I like the over on. I love the over on Lyndon Arthur,
Okay.
and the odds were decent. It was the Buatsi fight that over 8.5 was paying even money, and to go the distance was like plus 130. So I think the value is for these fights to go. Buatsi's got a chin of steel, right?
Mhm.
Parker's not knocking him out. That's not happening. That's not happening. So, then the question becomes: is Buatsi going to knock Parker out? Well, Buatsi really hasn't scored a bunch of knockouts. The one knockout he does have, it came late in the fight, 11th round. This is a scheduled 10. TJ told me they're moving it to 12. I don't know. Either way, it wouldn't change my bet.
I think it was a scheduled 12. He said they're moving it to 10.
Well, right now they have it at 10.
Oh, okay. I got that backwards then.
Either way.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Right now they have it. Well, right now on my book they have it at 12.
My book has as a either way, I would take. I have over 8.5 at minus 110.
Okay.
I would eat that up.
Okay. Over 8.5.
We're gonna get a headbutt. We're gonna get the fight stopped in the 4th round. But that
off of a flurry where nothing's landing and
Yeah.
the ref interjects and punches are being thrown but nothing's landing, and then 4th round stoppage.
Do you remember a referee? It's obscure, but like Paulie Malignaggi called him out after the Juan Diaz fight. Gail Van Hoy, a Texas judge.
I don't remember.
Famous judge. Paulie was the one that said, Gail Van. I didn't want Gail Van Hoy. That's Gail Van Hoy bending me over without Vaseline. That's the judge he was talking about.
Okay.
And I was talking to the commission, and the guy that used to be the head of commission in Texas, and he said we never had to ask Gail to do anything. We already knew what Gail was going to do. If we needed a good old boy decision, you don't have to say 2 words to him. You know what Gail's going to do, right? He's going to score the fight for the Texas fighter every time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's Howard Forster. Like Howard Forster is going to stop the fight. Like you don't have to ask him to do it. You don't have to put pressure on him. You don't have to do anything illegal. You just know what he's going to do. Howard Forster has ruined that heavyweight fight last week. Was about to be an all-time great fight. It was about to be because Fabio was losing, but he was winning, but he was fading. Like he seemed more shot, more tired, right? And then Parker did, but he was rallying with nothing left in the tank. Like that had all the makings of like Bo Holyfield round 10. Like it was going to be great, and then he stopped it.
Yeah, no, I'm still salty about that. Somebody said Big Shadow says Johnny's face. It's because the minute I talk about this all the time. I hate the idea and the fact that we could do as much tape as we want. We could watch as many fights as we want. We can know the sport. We could partake in the sport. But at the end of the day, to adhere to the fact that the power is removed from our hands based off of short counts, long counts, like the Navarrete versus Liam Wilson, 27 counts. The Justice Huni versus Fabio Wardley count. You can go back to Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas, the first knockdown. If you really want to talk about long and length of counts, how long the countdown was when Buster got dropped and how long the count was when Tyson got dropped. Like this isn't a new thing. My point is, so it's kind of disheartening for me to have to admit and confess that these are things we have to talk about. It's like, what are we doing? So is Foster reffing tomorrow?
I'll look it up. I'll see if it has anything listed on his box rec. I don't know. But like it's at the point where you have to just stay away from his fights. If he's reffing, you just have to stay away. You don't know what he's gonna do.
Isn't that insane to even admit? Like, you know what I mean? Like we should then on our end start putting refs on blast, like doing content around.
I've been doing that with judges. I've been doing that with judges for a while. I call them out by name and run down how bad their scorecards are. We got Tony Weeks is the other one. Tony Weeks stopped the Rolly Romero fight because PBC wanted Rolly. He let the Chico Corrales fight go on.
The Ishmael Barrasso.
Stop the fight, god dang it. And he's like, no, he can fight. And it was the right decision, right? Chico came back and won the fight. He made the right decision. But then he stops the Rolly Romero fight out of the blue. with the
Yeah,
Israel Barroso. Come
that
on.
was it's what I always say on that note is like, say what you will, the history books will always say Raleigh Romero is a 2 division world champion. You
Yep.
know, he's been elevated to 47. Like, I like Raleigh for that fact alone. I mean, an overachiever, a guy who's done more with less, but he's always, that version against Ryan Garcia. He had a great game plan. He attacked. He showed Garcia no respect, and he did well in that fight. That's a whole nother chat, the 147 landscape. What I wanted to do is bring this fight up because the boys are asking about Dennis versus Aaron Yeka. They had a couple viral moments the last 48 hours at the press conference. Did you see this one? How do you like this one?
This is one of the fights where I don't really like either fighter. I don't really know much about Ezra Enreka. I haven't got the tape on him. I don't really have too many thoughts on this. Uh,
Okay.
I'm not betting. I have no action on this fight.
Okay, and that's what we want to hear, and that's what I was telling the boys as well. I cashed out after the Philippines and Canada, and then I left a little bit into my account. And my dog of the week, it's been my dog of the week since Monday. I got him at 270. Lyndon Arthur to beat Ray. He's down to 230. And then
By decision or on the money line?
I got him on the money line at 270, meaning 100. He's down to 230
Yeah, that's
now.
good. That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I got him at. Yeah,
and he's still a dog, and it's like I broke that down. I watched. This is the point of you and TJ's live, which I really liked, is how TJ was saying, like, Lyndon Arthur, he doesn't think wouldn't say that he's world class or world level, and then he was trying to he said like Shaquan Pitters is better than people think he is. And it's like you could easily say the opposite about both, considering Arthur's been in the ring with the better competition.
yeah.
Arthur
All
with
this
the
been the best fighters in the world. Yeah.
doesn't that put you at the world level? This is where I was talking with the chat earlier about this. If you don't have to win world title fights to be world level, I mean, you're fighting against Bevo. You're at the world level. There's no level above that. You know what I mean?
But
But
they're saying he got whitewashed by Bivol and shouldn't have been in the ring with him in the first place, which I don't think is true. He lost every round, but he went the distance with him.
yeah, he went he went
Yeah.
the distance with him. And then you look at Bradley Ray, and I was telling the boys this. Both of their last fights, I took a Yard to beat Ray, but going into the fifth round, I took Yard to beat Arthur, but going to the fifth round,
Yeah.
I had Arthur up 4-1 going in. Arthur got up to a big lead, and then kind of resided the fact to fight the rest of the fight off the ropes and let Anthony Yard back into the fight. He loses a decision, and that has propelled Anthony Yard to fight against David Benavidez. Now, if you do the same thing with Ray, in my opinion, was going back and forth, life and death with Pitters. I took Ray, we won. But 2 fights before that, he fought a guy who was 0-18. What are we talking
Yeah,
about
no,
here?
I know. I really like Lyndon Arthur. I really
Yeah.
like Lyndon Arthur by decision. But there is an argument. Like Arthur, a lot of times, and I'm not saying Ray is a big volume guy. He's not. But Ray gets as times he just does not let his hands go. He just stays up against the ropes in a high guard and does nothing.
You mean
You
Arthur?
might give enough rounds away where you lose, but I'm with you. I am taking Lyndon. I think Lyndon Arthur is such a cleaner boxer. I think he's so much more sharp, right? Like his skills are so sharper. He throws better combinations. He's more precise. He's more accurate with his shots. I like, to me, that's great value right there, Lyndon Arthur.
Same. And then, did you watch the weigh-ins? Did you see how Lyndon looked on the scales?
I didn't see the weigh-ins.
All right, I'll pull them up for you. We were watching them here, and the only reason, when you look at these guys, and these are for the boys in the chat who maybe never fought or aren't aware of weight classes. You look at Lyndon Arthur, fighting at light heavyweight. Once they rehydrate, once they put the girdle on and their shorts are real high and the camera lens is zoomed in, you'd be like, damn, these dudes are massive. But light heavyweight is only 174 pounds. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I walk around at 184 pounds, and I'm 5'11". I walk around at 84, but
I weigh the same thing. Exactly.
yeah, I'm gonna play you the weigh-in real quick. We played this earlier before you got on. What do you see here? Just off, you grew up boxing. You know the sport in and out. Probably more than most people. Here's the weigh-in. I just had it up. Pat Brown. Man, right here. Okay. Share tab instead. Talking myself through this. Okay, this is light heavyweight, boys. That's Lyndon on the right. That's Bradley on the left. This is light heavyweight. Does Lyndon Arthur looks, some would
Yeah.
say, smaller, but in I would say fit. What do you see here?
They're built very differently.
Very differently. And
Very differently.
Ray's the one coming up.
Yeah. They don't I don't see, but we'll see what they look like tomorrow. That's a better sign, right? Like I
Yeah.
don't see a major difference in their build right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How about do you read much into body language in terms of like, because when I looked at this initially, I thought to myself instantly, having watched Lyndon Arthur's career, I was like, Arthur looks switched on. I was like, Lyndon
Yeah.
Arthur, sometimes he looks uninspired, sometimes he looks disinterested, even during fight weeks. And you never want to feel comfortable betting on a guy when you have to say, hopefully this version shows up. You know what I mean? So I'm not 100% I'm not 100% comfortable taking Lyndon Arthur, but I'm all in on him.
Lyndon Arthur, but Pacquiao would be like that too. Pacquiao would be at the stare down laughing, right? Like everyone's nerves, everyone's gonna respond a little differently. Like I never understood trash talking. Like trash talking is like, we get to fight tomorrow. Like we don't have to build up our anger. We get to fight. Like that's the best part of the sport is we get to fight tomorrow. So, or in the amateurs today. Like we don't need to do all this.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like I'm trying to bait you into fighting me. We're gonna get to fight. We don't need to trash talk.
Okay. I'm gonna pull this one up for you. These odds. I still have about 20 minutes left of the live stream you did with TJ. So I don't know if you really, I don't know if you dove too deep into this fight.
No, we both played off this fight. I don't like either fighter, and I'm not going to lose money or lose a parlay. I do like Troy Jones to win, but I'm not going to lose my parlay over Troy Jones. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. What is it about Troy that you like?
It's not that I like Troy so much. I just think Liam Cameron gets outboxed at the highest level, right? He just comes up short, and I think Troy Jones is probably a little bit cleaner than Liam Cameron. It's close, right? Like if you want to really argue for Liam Cameron, okay, you could probably make an argument for it. I don't really like either fighter here. If I had to pick, I suppose I would take Troy Jones. But I don't say that with a ton of confidence. I wouldn't. Again, if you want to really make an argument for Liam Cameron, I'm not going to push back too much.
Okay.
That's why I'm just not touching this fight unless you want to take the over. It's definitely going over. The only thing I would bet on this is, and I think the odds weren't too bad on that. So if I was going to bet this, I'm taking the over. I'm taking the decision.
Yeah.
They go the distance.
Yeah, it's what I told. It's what I told the chat. There's not. I got to be honest with and I've told the boys. There isn't one fight tomorrow that I've bet more than usual on. You know, the bets I have on are just kind of like entertainment sprinkle bets. I made my money yesterday. I cashed out just based on where the fights are, the matchmaking. There really isn't one fight tomorrow with like two guys in the prime of their careers who are world class. Both guys are sharp, and we're about to see boxing at the highest level on both sides. There really isn't a matchup like that tomorrow. And when there isn't a matchup like that for me personally, it's kind of your take on Cameron versus Jones. That's kind of how I look at it. Like I'll put a little bit on it just to stay interested, but I'm not going to invest the house on Liam Cameron.
Well, Liam Cameron is obviously more battle tested. He's been in with better fighters. But like I think the Whitaker fight. Well, I guess he didn't technically get a win. It was a draw, right?
They fought twice. So they
he got
twice.
knocked out in the second fight in the second round. He got knocked out quick.
Which when it proves your point about the ref. When you watch the sequence, Cameron was on the ropes and things weren't really landing. It was. Do you remember?
Right.
Do you remember the finishing sequence?
A little bit, yeah.
It wasn't.
The stoppage was highly questionable. It's vague in my memory, but I remember the stoppage was highly questionable.
All right. Did we because by this time it is Saturday morning my time. We've been covering fights for seems like for 14 years in a row. Everything's a blur. Did you and I cover? Did we talk about Buatsi Parker? You and me just now?
We haven't. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I have, and I didn't want to repeat myself. People be like, Johnny, you got to get your brain checked. Probably. Okay. Probably. Oh, so Buatsi Parker, just tell me about it real quick.
The odds on this are disturbing to me. Like Buatsi, I like Buatsi, but again, the judge. I talked to TJ about this. The judges don't like him, and the judges typically don't like the Ghanaian fighters, right? Like I like Ghanaian fighters stylistically. They're very tight, high guard. You know, they work the jab. They're tight, but a lot of times they're not doing anything. And we saw. I said we saw this with Ike Corte. We saw it with Richard Comey. We saw it with Josh Clotty. They don't get close. They don't get close decisions ever. They don't because of their style. So, like to me, Parker, it might not land the better shots, but he's going to land more shots. And what we've seen historically is that the judges favor that. So I think this fight's very, very close. So, like, I'm not laying $800 on Buatsi. Like, I have a plus 800. Like, it's crazy the odds on this.
He could take a shot. He could take a shot. I mean, how about a distance?
Buatsi's got a chin like steel for sure.
Yeah, how about a distance or an over and under? Any play there?
Well, I love I have a knockdown prop on it, under 1.5 total knockdowns. I would be all over that because Buatsi's not getting knocked down. You can't knock him down with a sledgehammer.
Look at this. Look at these odds real quick, Gary. Will the fight go the distance? Yes, $2.45.
Yeah, so I love it. Take it. My only lock was the over on this fight. The over on mine was even money. Over, yeah.
So when you see this, just from your perspective, and I'll give you mine, when you see the money coming in on this stoppage, is that people pouring the money on Buatsi to get stopped or Buatsi to stop?
I would imagine it's Buatsi to stop Parker. I like I said, you can say what you want about Buatsi. He ain't getting knocked out, right? Like, I mean, in his last fight, he got hit with bombs. And his chin was bomb-proof. Zach Parker, who I like, is not the biggest puncher in the world. Parker's not knocking out Buatsi. So they have to be betting that Buatsi stops him. And Buatsi really hasn't gotten a bunch of stoppages lately. Like, when was Buatsi's last stoppage?
Yeah, I'll pull it up. No, that's a very that's why when you talked about the odds, were you talking about the money line odds, or this is the most interesting thing is, will the fight go the distance? And to answer your question, Buatsi last won by stoppage. I mean, he did he stop Hutchinson?
No, Aziz. No. Everyone went the distance with him.
Aziz, Craig Richards,
distance.
Well, I mean, he has 13. Yeah,
but they all came years ago.
Oh, they all came early. Bolotniks, maybe Dos Santos down the second corner through the Talon. Marco Kalek, October 20th. Oh, no, he stopped Santos back in. His last stoppage came
2021.
2021.
4 years ago was the last time he stopped somebody.
All right. So he's had a couple knockdowns. You know, he's just not stopping guys. Interesting. This, you know what, this prop might get me excited for tomorrow. Will the fight go the distance too?
No, I mean yes,
yeah, I know.
Yes,
that might get me excited tomorrow. Actually, I didn't know. I'm glad I got that. I didn't see this prior. I was just seeing the money line options, and that's pretty interesting. So I've been live for about an hour and 10 minutes. I'm gonna ask Gary one more question. You know what, guys? We got 30 people on, floating between 30 and 50. Like this video. I'm going to leave the next minute. Anybody want to ask Gary a specific question? You guys got the wizard here live. Any fight small that I haven't spoken about, that he hasn't spoken about, that you want to ask him, I'm going to give you guys about a minute. And if nothing comes through, I'm going to wrap it up. Gary, like I said, you know, do you have a lock? I know you're, famous people.
The lock is the over on the Buatsi fight. I have over 8.5 at -110 on DraftKings. Just lock that up. Over 8.5 at even money, basically. I'm not giving you a parlay. Over 8.5 on DraftKings is -110. Just take it.
All right.
Here's something I want to best bet. The best bet is Thompson on my book. Thompson by decision is plus 1,200.
Jordan Thompson.
Yeah, I got about plus 1,200 by decision on my book. He's plus 1,200 by decision.
Damn. Yeah, I see it right here.
Yeah, I'm betting that. I'm betting that.
So this isn't a lock. This is your best
value.
Best value.
The best bet of the week is the over.
On Buatsi.
I also like Perro. I mean, like Gomez. I like Gomez a lot. You can bet.
Okay,
Gomez.
guys, and on that note,
I'm not going to be always Gomez fan, but he's definitely going to win.
All right, G. And on that note, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I want to say thanks to Gary from 3D. Guys, if you're not following him, go to 3D Boxing, give him a follow. He got his Discord link up there as well. We got a lot of boxing, Gary, coming up.
Can I address this real quick? Jordan Thompson got blasted by Jai. Yes, and he's not fighting Jai Apataya. If he was fighting Jai Apataya, I would take Jai by stoppage, but he's not fighting Jai. Jai is a pound for pound guy. I don't care who has him outside of their top 10. Jai's a pound for pound talent.
Mike TV, we appreciate you giving us some shout. Guys, follow Mike TV. He's trying to extend his record to 11-0. He's fighting in December. Go to his Insta. He put tickets up there. The boys aren't letting us go, Gary. The questions are coming. King of Fitness has been on fire in my Discord, by the way. This dude's always hitting. He says, what do you think about this, G?
What do you think about this parlay? Dennis, Arthur, Ray, distance. Yep. Buatsi decision. Buatsi decision. Again, I think the fight goes to distance. Buatsi decision. Is he going to get a decision? Like I might just change that to go the distance, right? Just change Buatsi by decision to go the distance. You still get really good odds on it, but Buatsi by decision is not bad. I just don't like the price on it. I think to go the distance is a better bet.
I wanted to put a bow on your point about Jordan Thompson. You guys did I think you mentioned it, how Tapology has this weird sort of, and I already focused on this about 30 minutes ago. Tapology has that denote by Jordan Thompson. You know, I did some digging, and maybe you already know this. This is because early on in his fight career, he didn't want his parents to know that he was a fighter.
Yeah.
Which in my opinion, it's way better than Tapology tries to make it. They make it sound like this guy did something super controversial to hide him being sort of sketchy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I wouldn't look too much into that. Like for the sake of the outcome of the fight, I wouldn't. I don't think
yeah,
it. Yeah.
I had never seen that before on Tapology. But guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. G, I'll do what I said I was off camera. I'm gonna do that now. I'll send you over that video. Follow Gary. Good luck, everybody, with their money tomorrow. Let's get after it.
All right.
King of Fitness, thanks, G. All the best for you. Pipe down. People sleep on